What is up, everyone on YouTube? My name is Daedric and welcome back to the Showdown. Today I was going to talk to you about the Aqua Quest 2 and Capcom and Aqua partnering and stating the release later this year of Resident Evil 4 on VR. So here I have an entire sketch pad with bulletins of the topics that they mentioned would be added, things they're keeping the same, and stuff that I thought was interesting that I should personally mention. I have a long list here, so once again, welcome to the Showdown. My name is Daedric. Thanks for tuning in. Give me comments on how you think I could improve and what you think of what I'm about to go over in this title. Thank you and enjoy. Okay, number one. Let's see. First ever first-person perspective of Leon. That is something big. There has never been an official Resident Evil game where we have had the possibility of playing first person with Leon, which is very great. Just to give you a little clarification, the first ever PS2 game I played was RE4. RE4 is by far my favorite Resident Evil, and it is in my top 3 of most favorite games in the world. It is very close to my heart, and I love it more than anything, and Leon is hands down my favorite character in the series. So it is very cool that we'll be able to play him in first person. Okay, number 2, items and objects are now physical. So you physically reload your guns, you physically pick up ammo, keys, treasure, all of that is supposed to be physical items now. That's very interesting because you will be opening the drawers and picking that up physically. That is really cool. I think that will be much better than just pressing a button on a controller. You can drop ammo while loading. This was kind of an assumption I made. The woman in the video they released stated, like, you should be nervous because if you make mistakes with your ammo, you have to physically correct that. That's what she stated. She didn't exactly state you have to pick up the ammo off the ground, but I'm assuming if you drop a shotgun shell, because I've seen where you load your own shotgun, you got to pick that up off the ground. So when you got those guys coming at you with chainsaws and you got to pick up that shotgun shell real quick, that's going to be scaring the shit out of you. Grab guns off your body. Okay, so here's one thing that's interesting. They state you will not have to use their new interaction menu, I will be mentioning that in a moment, to actually use your guns. You can grab them off your body. Now I'm wondering, with shotguns, does this mean like how people have them over their shoulder and they're pretty much laying on their chest while they're clearing with a pistol? Will it be like that for a shotgun? Or like the two-handed machine gun? Or will I literally have to grab this thing off my back like that? And then I'm assuming the pistol is going to come straight from the holster. That is very cool. That will be very interesting to see. Let's see here. Separate weapons in each hand. I did see in the cutscenes that you had the knife like this and the gun like this, and you was pretty much going. But I'm curious if it will only be with the pistol and the knife, or is there a possibility that for the first time ever in that game you could dual wield? That would be interesting, because like dual wielding butterflies or the pistol you get right at the castle, I can't remember the name of it, that would be very cool. Even dual wielding punishers, if you could get one free one from getting the tokens and then buying another, and the punishers where it's got the penetration rounds, that's great. The menu is no longer a pause screen, so yeah, so everything is through the interaction menu now for going through your suitcase to get your stuff. It no longer is an actual pause screen to equip stuff. That's interesting. So I guess that means you're definitely going to have to be careful on when you pick the time to start going through your briefcase. That's very cool. And I'm wondering how they do the briefcase with their interaction menu. It's going to be very cool to see how different the interaction menu changes when you have a bigger suitcase buying it from the merchant. That's going to be something else interesting. Let's see here. They claim, oh yeah, so it's supposed to have the same movement style but using analog sticks. So apparently they are trying to retain the same movement style from the original game 16 years ago, the one that's been redone over and over. And that's great. I mean, it's got a great movement style, and you're supposed to be able to retain that using analog sticks. But here's the thing. You can also set it to where the environment scales to your room, so there's more physical moving on your part. And then also you'll notice when you watch the clip that they had teleporting, where it kind of looked like how there's some games where you throw a grenade and it kind of has like a little laser going in front of you showing where your grenade's going to land. It kind of looked like that, and it was showing you how far Leon would teleport, and then when you clicked it, you would still be in your camera view watching Leon as he runs in front of your camera to the next spot. And that's interesting. That isn't really how I'd play. I'd probably stick with the analog sticks the most, because a lot of people don't have a lot of space in their rooms, for VR, unless you got a separate bedroom. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, they claim it can be comfortably played while seated. That is going to be something they're definitely going to want to live up to. That people can play this just as comfortable seated as standing. Because I have been told, I have not actually played VR, but I've been told that you can get sick after just a couple hours of standing playing VR. Let's see here. Okay, so they're sticking to the old core systems, and a lot of it has just been them sticking to the core systems where they're so good for the gameplay, and they're just trying to remaster the art, which I can respect that. I mean, Resident Evil was an amazing game. I mean, we're talking about a game that was so good that it's like, hey, you want this as an exclusive GameCube? Nintendo's like, yeah, we'll take that. Oh, wait. Sorry, too much money. Get screwed. Let's see here. Enemy movement is tethered in the new perspective. So now that it is obviously a VR game, they have changed enemy movement to make it tethered to your new perspective. That way it's easier for you to play it in VR. It's not just the direct stuff ported from the core systems. Trying to run. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, so this game originally started at 30 FPS. There has been remasters of it that have ran at 60 FPS but had their bugs. They are claiming that they are running it at better than 30 FPS, but they are removing the bugs from the previous remakes that have been done, remaking it to 60 FPS. Because when you take a 16-year-old game and get it up to 60 FPS and remaster, there are bugs. They're claiming they're getting it above 30. They didn't say 60, so they were getting it above 30. And they are removing bugs that is common with the 60 FPS ports. So that is very good. It'll be interesting to see that. Okay, so they did state, and I agree with them on this, this game has amazing cutscenes and amazing character animations right before or right after the cutscenes, like with Leon jumping, and how he's like, ugh, and just jumps to one side of the room. It's amazing. The cutscenes have always been great. And they just stated, those have held up so well. They're still good looking. There is no reason to change the in-character animations or the cutscenes. And I totally agree with them on that. And one thing you have to think about with this game being ported to VR, this game I love. It's a very important part of my heart. But this game has been ported more times than anything. It was supposed to start as only a GameCube. Then it went to PS2. It's been on 360. It's been on PS4. It's been on PS3. It's been on Xbox One. It's going to be on PS5 and the new Xbox. It's just been ported to everything. It is a very loved title. It opened the genre of third-person shooters for one. So it's really good to see them still doing something with this. And also the fact that they stated they spent 2 years, and because of how much the team loves the game and stuff, they're getting this done. I'm not sure what the normal time frame is. Like, I've heard of GTA and stuff taking years and years, like 5 or 6 years. Those are much bigger games. They said they've spent 2 years on this. I'm not sure if that would be a short amount of time or not. But considering they're taking this game that started on a GameCube, getting it all the way into VR, I think 2 years is impressive, and I'm happy with it. They mentioned that it's going to be naturally more scary due to the audio and immersive action. So one of the couple things they mentioned is they're going to have it be it's going to be very immersive. When you get out of a cutscene after you're seeing a boss appear, then you have this boss swinging at you and you're playing in VR. So it's going to be very immersive. It's going to scare you. And not to mention, they stated here, I wrote it down, so they have took the original audio files for the crows, for the dogs, for the enemies and all that. They have dived into those, and they are reusing those and making 3D sounds to where it's going to be like how, for example, in like COD and stuff, especially on the Battle Royale games now, you hear somebody, if somebody's on your left here and they're just creeping up on you, you hear that. Or if they're directly in front of you, you hear it. Or if they're directly behind you. Well, they are reusing the audio files and dove into them, and they're repurposing them so that you will hear that. So you will hear the enemies behind you, and then it's going to scare you because of how close they are behind you, and then you turn around real quick and shoot them. And I'm pretty sure they're going to add some more jump scares in there if there already isn't. And I'm very interested in what people think of fighting the giant Paga in the lake and then running from the boulders in VR. That's going to be fun. And then I'm pretty sure, the part where I'm hoping they have the part where you can go back in and play Zeta. And that's going to be interesting, when you got somebody shooting bullets out their fist at you. It's going to be interesting with Sadler doing that in that boss fight. But that's pretty much a review of it. They're completely, they're doing a lot of new stuff to the game. They're keeping stuff like the cutscenes and stuff as good as it was before. There's no need to improve that. They've looked good. They're still going to keep it that way. But the first person, and they claim the shotguns and stuff are going to feel, like an actual shotgun. It's going to be very interesting, to feel that vibration and stuff. And I think it's going to be really cool. I have never done VR, but I love this game so much. Eventually, if I can have the money to get it one day, I might be picking this up myself. Because I believe these right now are retailing for anywhere to $300 to $400. Quest 2s. But I would buy the thing at $300 to $400 if I had it right now just to play this game. It is scheduled to come out later this year. And I just want to thank Oculus Quest 2, the team for doing this, and Capcom for once again redoing this game and bringing it back and it being 16 years old. Thank you for the amount of work you put in to modernize this title. And then for all of you who are going to play this when it comes out and nitpick at the smallest flaws it has, which a lot of people do, I just want to mention, we're dealing with a 16-year-old game that came out on the GameCube. It's never going to be the best. No way possible. Anyway, this is my opinion on it. Thank you all for listening today and tuning in. If you want to put your opinions on what you think of RE4 coming out on the Quest 2, let me know in the comments section. Everyone have a good day. My name is Daedric. Thank you for coming to the showdown.